Today's topic of discussion is female promiscuity. So right now in today's society, there's a lot of men and women who think body count doesn't matter. A woman can just sleep with whoever and it doesn't have no consequences. So in this video, we're going to be discussing some key points in terms of why body count matters and the actual consequences on women when it comes to the actual relationships. So first point is body count. Now I'm going to play this 1-minute clip of a notorious promiscuous woman who goes by the name of Bonnie Blue. So I'll play it now for you guys.
Just a clever slut.
You are the perfect end result of feminism. That's destructive.
By the time you finish calling me a whore, I'm going to leave this chair with a wet patch.
Rob, the world's bring the asteroid.
Do you think you're a good role model for women?
I'm a clear example of what women have fought for years.
So sleeping with 1,057 men in a day.
It's good work ethic.
We live in clown world, and I just enjoy the circus.
Sex workers help reduce rape rates by over 30%.
Do you think Andrew Tate is guilty of the charges against him?
You like there's no way out for you.
You're so trapped in the matrix.
You're judging me, Andrew?
Feminism is a bullet that a man has shot.
Do you send your son to Bonnie?
Andrew, I do father and son as well. Brother and brother?
It's all disgusting to me.
Okay, so you guys are back now. You've had a watch of it. Now, that woman there, skit, public property, prosy, whatever you want to call her, she is being pushed by the system. So you've got both puppets there. You've got Bonnie Blue and you've got Andrew Tate. They're both controlled by the Zionists. Now, who are the Zionists? They are the global elites, people who control the whole system. So you've got the banking system, you've got the X-rated content system, the X-rated content industry, you've got the gambling industry, alcohol industry, and all the other filthy, degenerate industries. They control everything. Now, the reason why this woman here is being pushed out there, so she seems to be young, around I think 20, 21 or 22 or something, is because they want women like that to be role models for the future generation. So the independent boss babe type lifestyle is at a whole new level. So she's creating videos, right? She's trying to glamorize sleeping around, getting money, being independent. Do not depend upon a man for anything. All these narratives are being pushed out there. Now, some women in their delusional head are even saying body count doesn't matter. So female promiscuity has been frowned upon for centuries. It's frowned upon even till now in many parts of the world. But obviously, because of westernization, because in the UK and US, everything over here has gone crazy. You've got rainbow community pushing hard every single day, shoving it down kids' throats, kids as young as 6. So here in the UK, right, you've got children learning this stuff in primary school. I mean, what sort of parent is comfortable with their children learning about rainbow community? But that's just a whole nother topic. Female promiscuity is always going to be frowned upon by everyone in society. Goes back to just natural hardwiring. Some women genuinely believe that they can just sleep with whoever and it doesn't have no consequences. Now, you guys can even research this, right? As soon as a woman has slept with 2-3 men, forget about 5-10, as soon as she slept with 2 or 3, the chances of her actually forming a healthy attachment towards her future partner, her future partner significantly reduces. You know, they've even linked it to divorce rates. They increase their divorce rates. Meaning that a woman who has slept around more, she's much more likely to divorce her husband. You know, so consequences of body count isn't being emphasized enough. You know, I've spoken to certain sisters, right? Certain sisters are as young as 18, 19 years old, and they've already lost their virginity. Can you believe that? A person who's a teenager, so a person up to the age of 19 is a teenager. You know, teen. A lot of people don't know that. So you got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then you got 20. So after 20 and over, then you're not a teen, isn't it? But teens are just losing their virginities. I mean, if you're, for example, 14, 15, 16, 17, a woman's already lost her virginity. By the time she gets to around 22, 23, 24, I mean, what's the chances of her sleeping around more? Does it increase or decrease? Chances are it's going to increase. She probably have, by the time she gets to around those ages there, 23, 24, she'll probably have like 5, 10 different bodies under her name. Now they've even done studies on this right now. There's more women who are actually sleeping around than men. They've actually topped the list when it comes to cheating as well. There's more women cheating than men. Now, if you guys don't believe me, look, you can go research this. Check this for yourself. You know, female promiscuity is at an all-time high. You know, it's a real concern for a lot of men. So that leads us to the next point when it comes to insecure. Now, some women will come along, they'll bash men. They'll say, you're insecure, you're weak, you shouldn't worry about body count, a woman's past doesn't matter. These are the narratives that are being pushed out there. You know, if it didn't matter, why is it that a woman who's got a high body count, she can't become a housewife? There's literally a saying which is, you can't make a HOE into a housewife. And it's so true. The amount of headache, the amount of stress, the amount of BS you have to go through just to try and get that woman on the same page, just to try and get her to cooperate with you and communicate with you. You know, these people here, right, they don't seem to realize that when a man is genuinely concerned about a woman's body count, it's natural gida, which is protectiveness over his woman. You know, as soon as he's seen that this woman here has slept around, she's been with the whole block, or she's had other boyfriends and stuff like that, that's just a natural turn off for a man. It's one of the biggest icks. But this is it. People don't talk about this. People don't have the People don't even have the balls to say this stuff to a woman. That's what the truth is. You know, they think that, oh, everything's all rosy, everything's all sunshines and rainbows. Now, you've got certain sets of men who take it to the extreme where they just completely obsess over this. So they're constantly thinking, oh, is the woman going to cheat on me, or is she going to sleep with another guy, or how many men has she been through? And, you know, I need to do all my research on her. I need to find out as much information as I can. Where she was certain days of the week, certain days of the month, or whatever nonsense. You know, so you got that set of extreme. But then you've got the other set. They don't even give a damn. They're saying, you could have been with 100 guys. It doesn't matter. You know, that right there, they're both opposite sides of the spectrum. It's not healthy at all. So, next point is damaged. Now, these women, right, who have had boyfriends, they've had other relationships, they're going to come with emotional baggage. This is what the truth is. So what they do is, they've been through all these haram relationships, and then they take it out on future guys. They get them guys to go through circles and hula hoops. Because of what? The BS and drama that they went through with the previous guy. I mean, these sets of toxic women, your best bet is to just disregard them. You know, don't pay them any attention. You know, they lost their virginity, they've lost their value, they ain't got no self-respect no more. They go with whoever, sleep around with whoever, and a lot of these girls who are raised in these type of environments come from weak dads. You know, the dads weren't providing and protecting properly. And then she's damaged now. She's seeking counseling, which a lot of these women, they go spend all these hours, time, money, etc. A lot of it don't do anything to them. The amount of women that I've spoken to, they've said to me, the therapy ain't helped me one bit. You know, so things like that, people need to really pray to God and ask God for guidance. You know, because some of these women, right, they're genuinely damaged and they come across a good man, but they end up pushing him away. You know, they push him away, they play more games with that guy, and then eventually it gets to a point where he ends up just leaving. He's had enough. So final point is streets. Some of these women are genuinely destined for the streets. So from the stats, by 2030, 50% of all women will be single and childless. So from the ages of 22 to I think 45. Sorry, 24 to 45. Now it's heading towards that. Right now it's around 40% in the UK. So these women here are just sleeping around, watching X-rated content. They've got toys to try and pleasure themselves. But they ain't got no real husband. They ain't got no children. They'd rather just get a few text messages on the internet. I mean, that's how pathetic some women have become. They'd rather just get a few text messages every now and then over genuine relationships in real life. They don't want to take no accountability for their wrongdoings. Even basic things when it comes to apologizing. I've spoken to certain women, they're just so stubborn. They just don't want to take no accountability. Think that, oh yeah, I'm just going to carry on going. Till they realize they come across a guy like me who don't tolerate no disrespect. Some of these girls, they're lingering on for years. A year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. I still need my apology. Otherwise, I ain't interested in meeting that person. Now, if more guys were to actually stand on their business and to actually do that and condition women, cut off all attention from them for days, weeks, months, then they start to fall back in line. Then they'll realize that their value is all the way down here. It ain't up here, which they're thinking in their delusional head. So, just to wrap up, body count does matter. As soon as a woman's had one boyfriend, it's significantly lowered her value in the marriage market. Now, this is a bitter pill to swallow for a lot of people. As soon as she's been touched up by one guy, straight away, turn off. So you got people like Bonnie Blue coming along, who's just right at the end of the spectrum, complete prosy. That woman there is an agent of the system. She ain't no role model. She ain't got no values. She ain't got no good morals. You think people like that are trying to raise righteous children? They're just trying to fill up their bank accounts. And they're trying to spread more corruption within society. It's the same thing with the guy Andrew Tate as well. He's giving her airtime as well, giving her attention. So they're both just as bad as each other. What sort of guy is going to give attention to a pussy? Real men, they don't even want to be in the same proximity as someone like that. Keep away from you. Dirty, low quality woman. I ain't even trying to judge, but it's just, that's what the truth is. If, for example, you guys were out and about and you was to see a pussy, you're going to be like, oh man, get away from me. I ain't trying to go near that filth. Next one after that was insecure. Now, some of these women are coming along now and saying, a man's insecure because he's asking about a woman's previous relationships. Now, from the Deen perspective, a woman can't expose her sins. However, if a man makes it a requirement, and he's saying, I don't want a woman with no previous relationships, she needs to remove herself from that person. Because that's a condition that he's set. Now, if a woman lies and she turns around and says, okay, I ain't had no previous relationships, later on the guy finds out, that's literally a grounds for divorce. You know, you won't hear this a lot of the times on the internet, but it's literally a grounds for divorce. You know, that right there is just complete deception. At certain times it's just better to be honest. Be like, you know what, I don't think this is going to work out. You know, I wish you all the best. Now, some women, they've literally told me, they've said, oh yeah, I've lost my virginity, or I'm not a virgin anymore, and I can't continue forward. And I tell them, look, it was great speaking to you. Flipping. Light's gone in my eyes, man. Flipping, my eyes are hurting a bit. I've been on that TikTok lives too long. That's what it does to you. F's up your eyes. So I'll tell them, look, it's great speaking to you, but unfortunately we're not compatible. And the next one after that was damage. So certain women, they become damaged from these relationships. They've lost their virginity. They've been in haram relationships. They label the guy as toxic, but they don't look at their own toxic behavior. You know, the constant games, constant BS, constant back and forth. They don't want to take no accountability for their own actions. And then the final point was streets. That's where these women belong. Outside on the streets. Crack on. You know, men with morals, principles, boundaries. They've got other options. They're not interested in women who are promiscuous. You know, impure men are for impure women. Pure men are for pure women. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.